Okay,
Okay,
we're broadcasting.
thank you.
Take it away.
Take it away.
I, Margot GK, the town clerk of the town of Morristown, do hereby state that it is 7:34 p.m. on Tuesday, April 27th, 2021, and that this regular meeting is being held remotely via webinar. Both adequate and electronic notice of this meeting were provided according to law by written notice to the Morristown Daily Record, the official newspaper of the town of Morristown, and to the Newark Star Ledger, both more than 48 hours. Notice was also posted in Town Hall and on the town website and filed in the office of the town clerk of the town of Morristown. I do further state that I shall enter into the minutes of this meeting a statement that such notice was furnished as particularly described by me in this public announcement. I'll take a roll call. Councilwoman Cotton,
Hold on, she's
Was on.
here. She got demoted for some reason. I just put her back on.
here she is. Councilwoman Cotton,
Here.
Councilman Allen,
Present.
Councilman Iannicone,
Here.
Councilman Mayor,
Here.
Councilman Silva.
Present.
Councilwoman Foster and Council President Armington are both excused this evening, so tonight's meeting will be led by Councilman Iannicone. Councilman, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Margot. Welcome to our council meeting. Let's start with a moment of silence. And the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we get started, I have a few announcements. As always, please be aware that public comment during the public hearing portion of this meeting will be moderated through the Zoom app. At the appropriate time, members of the public wishing to speak should indicate so by raising their hand in the app. You will find the raise your hand icon at the lower left side of your screen. You may also raise your hand by pressing *9 on your phone. When it is your turn, the moderator will send a signal through the app and ask that you unmute yourself so that you may be heard. To unmute yourself on the phone, press *6. Just a couple other things. Want to announce that Resolution R-72-2021 is being tabled and will be heard on May 11th during an ABC special meeting at 7 p.m. Also, the public hearing and adoption of Ordinance O-5-21 is also tabled to the May 11th regular meeting. There are 4 items on the consent agenda. Unless a member of council would like to discuss separately, I would ask for a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
I'll move to adopt the consent agenda, please.
I'll second.
Okay, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Ilms,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
and Councilman Iannicone.
Yes.
Motion carries. At this time, I'll open up the floor for a public hearing on any matter. Again, please raise your hand in the Zoom app to indicate you'd like to speak. If you've joined via telephone, kindly press *9. State your name and address and limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. Be advised that any derogatory comments targeting members of council and or administration may be ruled out of order. There were no comments received via email.
Councilman, the first public comment speaker is Nolan Bass. Mr. Bass, if you would unmute yourself and state your name and address to the record, please.
That's Nolan Bass, 3 Shady Lane. I'd just like to get an update on 1 Shady Lane. It's been quite a while since we've heard anything with what's going on. It's now been a year. And I know we won the case, I guess, in municipal court, and we're awaiting another decision. I guess they appealed it. So just looking for an update. I know a lot of people have been asking. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bass. Councilman, I don't see any other public comments.
Thank you. Jillian and Veach, can you give an update on Shady Lane?
Councilman, would you close public comment?
Oh, yes. I'd like to close public comment.
Thank you.
Sure, I can provide an update.
Thanks, Pete.
Councilman. There's two tracks that we have always followed. One is the municipal court, the other is the Superior Court. The municipal court judge, as you know, municipal court ruled in favor of the town, holding that One Shady Lane was in violation of our zoning ordinances. The occupants of One Shady Lane, or the facility that runs it, paid a fine, but they also appealed that decision. That appeal is going to be heard on May 14th. This was just last week that the court handed down a briefing order where both sides have to submit briefs, and it will be heard on May 14th. As far as the other tract, if you may recall, we had filed an order show cause, which was initially denied. After the municipal court ruling, the town did refile the order show cause. Because of the changed circumstances. There was oral argument heard last week, and the judge heard both sides and has reserved decision and will be issuing a written ruling within the next week. So that's all I have so far. I don't know the timing, but the judge did say that she would issue a written ruling on the motion.
Veach, question, with reference to the fines, they did pay the fine, but do the fines continue to be levied daily?
There is $100 per day fine every day since the court ruling.
Since the court ruling, okay. And they did pay the outstanding fine to the court?
That is
Excuse me, to the municipality? They did?
Yes, to municipal court, yes.
Okay, very good. And then at what point after a decision, if the decision is in the town's favor, can we take action to stop the use of the property, the current use of the property?
Councilman, I'd rather have this discussion in closed session.
That's fine. Thank you. I understand. I apologize.
No.
Fine. Okay. Any other council comments, public comments? Being none. Report of the mayor. Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Anicone. I'll keep it brief, as I've posted this a few times over the last few days, so everybody mark their calendar for Saturday, May 1st, which is coming up. 10:30 Arbor Day celebration at Burnham Park with the Shade Tree and Burnham Park Association. It's 10:30 a.m. near the pool. 9 a.m. great event behind Town Hall put on by the Kiwanis, the Shred event. I know Councilman Iannicone will have his box full of papers. It's a great time to get rid of those financial and legal papers that have no use anymore, that are stored in your basement or closets, to get them shredded and get rid of them. It's from 9 to noon. In the afternoon, the same day, May 1st, the Shade Tree will give a free tree seedling giveaway from 2 to 4. They'll have instructions with the tree seedlings when they give them to the public. Mark your calendars, May 8th. We won't be together before that. 11 a.m. Foots Pond ribbon cutting. That's May 8th. And May 15th, mark your calendars, 9 a.m. to noon, the annual town cleanup, Green and Clean. It's going to be back at Town Hall. It's being run by the Environmental Commission. An important note is last year we were not allowed to do that. We just now have the wherewithal to gather and to do a really good job cleaning the whole town, and we need volunteers. So make sure that you get this out to your email chains, looking for volunteers for the townwide cleanup, which is May 15th, 9 a.m. back here, and it'll be a really good time. Don't forget to register for the Burnham Park Pool. You can go to townofmorristown.org/pool or call the rec office at 973-292-6717. Also, if you know anybody who needs a job, lifeguards, we need lifeguards, $15 and up based on experience. They can also call the rec department or visit townofmorristown.org/rec. And as always, which we post every day, is the registration for vaccines is 16 and up. You can go to RiteAid.com, CVS.com, AtlanticHealth.org, or call the mayor's office at 973-292-6626, and we will get you scheduled and vaccinated. And obviously check the website, townofmorristown.org, for the latest updates to the governor's executive orders, which our legal department keeps up on and usually advises us, but they are posted on our website, Facebook, and posted to Instagram. So you can get the latest and greatest of our governor's executive order and the do's and don'ts. That is it, Mr. Iannacone. The only other question I had is, and I talked to the business administrator about it, which is the signage for the runners downtown through the dining district. As you see, the barricades now being put out for the restaurants. We publicly thanked DOT the other day for that quick response to get our permitting and for allow us to open up the outside dining more, is to remind runners that, as the business administrator put today so eloquently, that Morristown is very picturesque. There's plenty of places to run. Let's not try to run between people on our outside dining, having dinner, and keep it to the back roads. Maple runs parallel. We have great parks. We have Foots Pond, which is 11 acres for walking and jogging. And that is it, Councilman Iannacone.
Thank you, Mayor. Council liaison reports?
Sure, I'll go with Shade Tree. The Shade Tree Commission still working on parks cleanup. We've completed with the help of DPW, who's doing an outstanding job. They've completed Granby Park. They're working on Burnham Park, Pocahontas Park, Speedwell, Harrison Street. Playground has been trimmed. Clayton Park's dead wood has been removed. We just recently told them about a dead tree in Robert Tracy Park, which our DPW will take care of. And I was going to announce all the events, but Mayor Doherty just did. About the seedling event on May 1st at 2 p.m. at Town Hall parking lot. I don't know what kind of seedlings they are, but they come with instructions when you pick them up. And we have been discussing on Shade Tree a way to ask people to think about growing our trees, taking some of these seedlings and maybe planting them at their house and then donating them back to the town to be planted in the public right away. We discussed maybe getting the schools involved as a science project, but that's still in a discussion stage. But if anybody would like to think about, we don't obviously have nursery services or facilities in Morristown to grow our own trees, and they're very expensive, but it's just a thought. If anybody wants to plant some trees and then donate them back to the town, we'd be more than willing to accept them. So, and hopefully everybody will come out for Arbor Day and the Foots Pond ribbon cutting. They recently put a new path down at Foots Pond. It's called the meandering path. It's wood chips that meander, and they're growing, they just planted grass seed and wildflowers, and it's a path to get people to slowly walk and enjoy the park from James Street to get to the pond. So please enjoy it. Hope we see you all there.
Thank you, Sandy. Who else? Anybody else?
Yes, Morris Housing Authority had its monthly meeting last night. I just want to report that the work that administration is doing in conjunction with the commission is great. Everything that they are passing for resolutions, plus the work that the administration is doing. And when I say the work, is not the regular work, but all the new things that they're implementing are geared towards improvement of all the buildings, seniors, and Maynahan Village. This past Sunday, Commissioners Deadman and Lindsay had a meeting with some of the residents at Maynahan Village, giving them information on RAD. Very important meeting because there were some speculations and even some stories about things that were not true in regard to that project. So they started that meeting. Mr. Kinnard stated that in the month of May, they will have a meeting with the residents to give information by groups, all the residents at Maynahan Village. And they are doing things on safety, like renewing equipment for cameras in the buildings at Maynahan Village and other things. So I think that they're doing great. So that's all from me.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
David, are people still not allowed into senior housing and due to COVID, or have they opened that up for visitors yet? Do you know?
No, everything still's no visiting, and also the facilities at Minahan Village that are used for meetings and gatherings are not in use yet. They waiting for new guidance from CDC.
Okay, thank you.
Morristown Partnership met last week. The ballots for the new Board of Trustees are due tomorrow, April 28th. The votes will be counted on Friday by the League of Women's Voters. Shortly thereafter, we'll make an announcement as to the new trustees of the Morristown Partnership. Restaurant week ends this Friday, April 30th. I suggest that we go on to the website and participate these final days of the restaurant week. Always a success, always a lot of fun. Also, I call your attention that the gift certificates are still available online. It's a nice way of supporting our local businesses. So if you get a chance, check out the website, check out what's happening with our local businesses, and take some time and maybe purchase a gift certificate. That's it for the Morristown Partnership. Tawana, do you have an update by any chance?
I do not have an update.
Okay. Let's move on then to regular business. Margot?
Okay, we have two ordinances for introduction this evening. Ordinance number O-6-2021, ordinance of the town of Morristown vacating a portion of Springs Place consisting of approximately 11,214 square feet.
Okay, I'll move it.
I'll second.
Okay, on the motion to adopt, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms.
It's a motion to introduce, Margot.
Did I say adopt? My apologies.
Yeah.
Let's start over. On the motion to introduce ordinance O-6-2021, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
and Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Ordinance O-6-2021 has been introduced properly by title and will be considered further after a public hearing to be held on May 11th.
Jill, if we could, at our next meeting, could we request that either Phil or John just give a brief explanation as to how this is consistent with both, which I believe it is, with both the developers agreement and the other approvals, please?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Ordinance number O-7-2021, an ordinance of the town of Morristown and the county of Morris, New Jersey, prohibiting the operation of any class of cannabis businesses within its geographical boundaries.
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Second.
Comments or questions? On the introduction of ordinance O-7-2021, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes. This is temporary, right?
this is just the introduction. The public hearing will be held on May 11th.
Okay. Yes. Okay, then yes.
Councilman Elms,
No.
Councilwoman Mayor,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Ordinance O-7-2021 was introduced properly by title and will be considered further after a public hearing to be held on May 11th.
And on this, just FYI, council did put together a subcommittee. This subcommittee did do a draft of an ordinance. However, we decided as a council that we were going to expand the committee, asking for representatives from each one of the wards to kind of broaden the discussion on cannabis and how it should be either introduced into Morristown and or controlled, the operations being controlled. And we will be setting up that committee meeting, that broader committee meeting shortly.
Will the commission give us updates on the outcome of those meetings and the research that you're doing throughout the town?
It's actually a committee, and the action itself would have to be approved by our council. And so There will be updates and there will be a final report presented to this council, Councilman Silva.
Thank you.
Okay. There are 3 resolutions for adoption on the agenda. Would any member of council like to pull one for separate consideration?
I'd like to pull Resolution 74.
Any others? I would ask for a motion to adopt R73 2021 and R75 2021 en masse.
I'll move.
I second.
Okay, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilman Mayer,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Okay, resolutions are adopted. Resolution R-74-2021, resolution authorizing additional 2021 temporary appropriations. May I have a motion to adopt?
I'll move for adoption.
Second?
I'll second.
Second.
Okay, Councilman Iannacone?
Yes, Jillian, what's the timing on the final budget?
We expect to introduce in May.
In May? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. When do we usually adopt it? Because this is going 6 months then.
We usually introduce either the second meeting in April, or the first meeting in May.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, on the adoption of resolution R-74-2021, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mayer,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted.
I do not believe we have any unfinished business this evening. New business, rent leveling. Margot?
Yes, in your meeting packet, you were provided with applications that were received in response to the recent advertisement of the rent leveling vacancies. If it is the council's will to make an appointment this evening, the first position is rent leveling regular member Class A tenant for an unexpired term ending December 31st, 2023.
I'd like to nominate Kenneth McPherson.
Okay, any other nominations? I will close the nominations. On the appointment of Mr. McPherson as a rent leveling Class A regular member for the unexpired term ending 12/31/23, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilman Mayer,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Mr. McPherson is hereby appointed. The second appointment on the agenda this evening is a rent leveling board Class C regular member for an unexpired term ending 12/31/21.
I would like to nominate Jorina Lidra.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Any other nominations? I will close the nominations. On the appointment of Ms. Jorina as a Class C regular member to the rent leveling board for an unexpired term ending 12/31/21, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mayer,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
and Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Ms. Jorina is hereby appointed.
Okay. I believe there's no other business this evening, so I'll take a motion for adjournment.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Meeting adjourned, everyone.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Have a great night,
Aye.
everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Okay,
Good
bye-bye.
night.